So you're interested in gate travel, are you? Well, good on you. There's more than a world of opportunity out there for the intrepid skeptic. There are 8 of them. Business opportunity, artistic opportunity, opportunity. Let's face it, there's never been a more opportune moment. This pamphlet outlines what you can expect first from travel to any of the gated civilizations. We also offer 7 comprehensive guides to the city gates, as well as 8 painstakingly researched culture primers. Order through the same trusted contact who provided you with this sheet. Chapin, the de facto capital of the Cloxic city-states, is best enjoyed in spring and autumn. Winter can be very cold and snowy. Summer is not especially hot, but is the season during which the unofficial Cloxic national bird, the mosquito, swarms the city. The gate is located between 2 tall, picturesque trees. You'll be greeted at the other side by local representatives of the Warriors Guild, who will relieve you of your weapons before turning you over to dozens of merchants who will scream themselves hoarse trying to outbid each other for your business. Be discriminating. Food and lodging are available for rates from high to absurd. It is often better, financially speaking, to include these elements into any business you may have with the merchants or information brokers. Chapin streets are quite safe, in part because so many of its residents are armed to the teeth. You are unlikely to find yourself in the path of physical danger unless you insist on putting yourself there. Keep in mind that Chapin employs very few police officers and maintains only 2 tiny prisons. Foreigners rarely enter the Cloxic justice system and instead find themselves deported, de-emancipated, or decapitated. Solfège, the official capital of the Finnish Empire, is extremely hot and dry during the rainy season. Summer is brutal. Pessimists view Solfège's climate as unremittingly uncomfortable, while optimists know that there will never be a better time for a visit. Art lovers will appreciate the gate's fixed location between 2 prime examples of Finnish art. Lovers of nude, bald women will likewise appreciate the gate's frame. Several of the Finnish Empress's warriors will sweep away your weapons and leave you to sort yourself out. Take your time orienting yourself atop the pyramid. If you haven't arranged for a guide, ignore the blood sacrifices, descend the steps, and hang a right at the bottom. Under the first awning, you'll find at least a half-dozen Finnish men and women waiting to serve as guides. You're sure to find a language in common. Care to take on Solfège's guide list? Go right ahead! You'll soon discover the perfectly straight streets of the city branching off into mazes within mazes. Stick to the awning-covered streets if you're interested in market goods. Food and lodging are best found through a guide. While you'll likely have no trouble finding a restaurant, food stall, or place of bedding, you're unlikely to find one that serves people with any amount of body hair. Expect to be thoroughly inspected. Prices throughout the city are quite reasonable. Fines for any perceived slight or insult to the Empress, however, are exceptionally steep. Best to bow at all statues and be respectful in all conversations that reference the Empress in glowing terms. All conversations will reference the Empress in glowing terms. In general, Finnish women hold all of the important positions in society. You'll find the most success in Solfège if your group is led by at least 1 woman. Ryscott, one Elinmok town among many. Expect constant drizzling rain throughout the rainy season, fog every morning, and approximately 15 breathtakingly beautiful warm, dry days each year. Absolutely reliable weather forecasts are posted every 20 days on the Ryscott side of the gate and will certainly be available to you should you know whom to ask before your trip. The weather forecast will ensure that you can take your trip on a perfect day, as will thousands of travelers from every gated civilization. The Ryscott Gate is located in a bamboo grove. Depending on the harvest schedule, you may find yourself stepping directly into the space among the hard, tall grasses, or into a small, muddy field of stumps and sprouts. Expect at least 2 Elinmok lost ones to give you the once-over on the other side. Should you show signs of a violent personality, they'll relieve you of your weapons. Do not be surprised if a lost one takes it upon him or herself to follow and keep an eye on you. They won't molest you or respond to you in any way unless they perceive you as a danger. Then they will kill you. You are welcome to wander Ryscott as you please. Village infrastructure is created and maintained on a purely voluntary basis, so it's rather hit or miss as to dry shoes and the like. Feel free to enter any Linmark dwelling. They'll see to it that you are fed and sheltered. Be prepared to subsist on raw bamboo, bamboo tea, roasted bamboo, bamboo shoots, and a wide variety of other dishes also made of bamboo. You will enjoy your meals off of bamboo dishware while sitting on bamboo in a bamboo structure. You may prefer to pack your own food. Lost Ones will let you know if you are in any way taking undue advantage or distracting an Linmark from their studies or practices. Money is worthless in a Linmark. Don't bring it. Barter is a fine way to get your hands on a Linmark goods or services, though you may find it difficult to find an Linmark with something of value to trade for. Do not attempt to barter for Lost One weapons or armor. Namtak. The capital city of the Kevpray nations is also the largest among them by a factor of 20. Forget the weather. The real question is whether to visit during the day or at twilight. For approximately 16 weeks, the sun does not rise over the icy waters around Namtak. For approximately 16 weeks, the sun does not set over the icy waters around Namtak. For the remainder of the year, the sun cycles around near the horizon. Unless you too can navigate without light, or you plan to carry a light source with you at all times, don't visit during the dark days. Anytime you visit, expect extreme cold, wind gusts powerful enough to sweep you off your feet, and hardly a hint of humidity, much less precipitation. The gate is located on a wall in an underground cavern through which a hot stream of water flows. The helpful Namtak city guards always keep a light source to hand for those who cannot see in the dark. You'll be allowed to keep all of your possessions escorted out of the chamber and pointed in the direction of the surface. Ask a guard if you require a guide. They'll happily summon one for you. Kevpray dining is not for everyone. If a meal, 80% meat and 20% fat, generally uncooked and often still bloody, appeals to you, you're in luck. If not, bring your own. Basic accommodations are available for a modest price. Most anything you own, metal, leather, or cloth, can be traded for Kevpray goods and services. Practice your bargaining skills and don't get greedy. Greedy traders come to sticky ends. Hujian. The Berlani capital is a real four-season destination, enjoying mild weather all year round. The gate hovers freely in mid-air on a small island in a large, lazy river, the Kugwa. Berlani guards will usher you over a pontoon bridge to a customs station. There, officials will carefully inspect all of your belongings, list them, and tag your weapons. A small gift will speed the process considerably. Be discreet. Once beyond customs, you can continue across one of several pontoon bridges to either bank. Officials and official business is all located on one bank, the one with toll-imposing walls, while the common folk and common business is located on the other. Do not go to the official side without the appropriate seals and or chaperone. Local guides, food, and lodging are all easily procured on the common side. Prices start startlingly low, but remember that you get what you paid for. We recommend you commit all the cash you can. Tight-fisted visitors may find themselves eating mean, sleeping hard, and led in circles. A simple rule of thumb for restaurants and shops: red lantern equals reasonable, white lantern equals expensive. Do not purchase ironwork of any sort. It will be found and confiscated by the customs officers on your return journey. You will never be far from a police officer or six. They are unfailingly polite and unerring when giving you directions. A small gratuity for their service is considered good manners. Marza. The old joke is that you can't help but fall for the Islite capital city. You'll hear the joke repeated often, and for good reason. The gate is located nearly a meter off a cliff, and slowly rotates around a horizontal axis. Exiting the gate, you will immediately plummet 2 meters into a net. Dress accordingly. Islite guards will pull the net in and let you out on a rock ledge with a lovely view of Mars, the city by the lake. During particularly busy transit periods, the guards have been known to get a bit behind on their work. It is possible you will be unlucky. The usual net will be unavailable, and you will fall the remaining distance into a spring-fed cistern. After they finish laughing, the Islite will haul you out of the water before you drown, take off all your clothing, and set things out to dry in the sun. Depending on the season, Great Lake may be lapping at the buildings or more than a kilometer away from the city. The dry season shrinks the huge body of water and greatly increases its salinity. The rainy season recharges the Great Lake in short cloudbursts, powerful enough to knock you to the ground. Dress accordingly. It is not at all difficult to find an Islite to take your money. It is next to impossible to get something of value in exchange. Remember that the concept of private property does not exist so far as the Islite are concerned. Feel free to take what refreshment you require and sleep where you will, and keep in mind that the Islite will feel free to take whatever you may have brought with you. Guides are not for hire, but it is not uncommon to find oneself the leader of a mob of Islite children who will happily serve as guides and translators. From time to time, they will serve accurately. Do not intentionally do anything that might bring pain or discomfort to an Islite. You will be ejected from the city, most likely not through the gate, but out into the dry wastes. Should you require anything like an official, look for a long building shorter than you are at one end and at least 5 meters tall at the other. Inside you are likely to find a group of elders passing the time and offering advice to any who require it. Be aware that they may ask you to drink a mild hallucinant and explain your situation through interpretive dance. Dress accordingly. Lucarit Dans. The great basalt towers of the Simon Don's capital are best visited during the coolest season. 4 seasons can be identified in Simon Don's territory, but it's a real stretch to call the nippy weeks anything like winter. A heavy shirt is all you'll need to feel comfortable, and the sunsets are simply spectacular. The gate is located on the outer wall of a many-sided basalt tower and empties out onto an octagonal piazza. You will be inspected thoroughly from a distance by at least a half-dozen warriors. They will steadfastly refuse to take your weapons and rather hope you'll try to use them. Don't. All Simon Dons are carnivores, so bring along any fruits, vegetables, grains, or grasses you might want in your diet. Food and lodging is easily procured. Ask anyone for directions. In general, it's best not to take too much time with any of the locals. Most any male can serve as a guide. Females absolutely will not. Look for a Simon Don's male, long hair as a tip-off, who isn't too important, doesn't have any assistants, and you're home free. Brass and or bronze goods are valued in Lucarit Dans. Wise visitors bring along a pouch full of cheap buttons and the like to encourage trade, or convince the offended your skin will not make a fine wall hanging. Not the capital city of the Chudgalar. Not, in fact, a city at all. Richungput refers to the rolling grasslands and forests in a region of Chudgalar territory. This is the only gate that exists in one space for a time, ceases to exist there, and immediately thereafter begins existing in another space. There's no telling what you're likely to see or what the weather is likely to be when you arrive. The Richungput territory runs primarily north-south, and the weather in the northernmost districts is quite different from that in the southernmost. The gate may be indoors, out of doors, in a field, in a river, or peeping out of an extremely fat, ugly tree. By all means, ask recent travelers where it was located last. With any luck, it still will be when you enter the gate. It is strongly recommended that you do not allow too much space among travelers or among travelers and their goods. Separations have been known to occur. Chudgalar make exceptionally good, well-informed guides if you can understand them. Most cannot. A cottage industry of translators exists throughout Chudgalar territory. They are not shy and will certainly flag you down to tout their services. Chudgalar are vegetarians and spend a great deal of time eating grasses and grains. Much of their food is eaten raw. If that is unappealing to you, or you are a carnivore, bring along your own food or be prepared to hunt it for yourself. You may need to ask around a bit to find shelter at night. There's nearly always something available at a very reasonable price. Keep in mind that the shelter you enter at night may be taken down and moved away come morning. Also, do remember that the Chudgalar will urinate and or defecate whenever and wherever they feel moved to do so. You will not offend them if you do the same. A good pair of boots, is recommended.